Hello, I am Samlata, English Assistant JMC School Orthopedic. Welcome to SL Baina English. Listen to the video from beginning to the end. If you like it, share it and subscribe it. Today I would like to continue the lesson The Brave Potter. The brave potter tied the tiger instead of donkey with an iron chain to the tree without knowing he is tying the tiger to the tree. But the tiger, thinking him as the leak, a dangerous animal than him, did as he said, came with him and was tied by the iron chain. By seeing that, all the villagers called him as Brave Potter. When the war broke out, as per the advice of one minister, he made the Brave Potter as army general. After this we completed. Let's continue the lesson. The king immediately sent a messenger to the potter's house. When the potter realized that he had been made general of the army, he became frightened. The king had ordered him to go to the palace the next day. How could he, a poor ignorant potter, become the general of the army? He had never carried a sword, nor had he ever ridden a horse. The king ordered to come to the palace next day. He didn't know how he became the general of the army. He had never carried a sword, nor had he ever ridden the horse. Oh, I shall die because of that stupid donkey, groaned the potter to his wife. He has only brought us trouble. Groaned means make a deep sound of despair. Okay. He thought because of this stupid donkey only the trouble came. Next day he went with his wife to the capital. The king was pleased to see him and ordered the potter to lead the army into the battle the next day. The enemy was not far from the gates of the city. Next day they went to the palace. The king ordered to lead the army the next day. Splendid house had been prepared for the potter and his wife. The horse which would carry him into the battle was ready in the stable. That night the potter could not sleep. He was nervous. Arranged a house. The horse was also ready in the stable. He felt very nervous because he didn't know how to ride horse at least. He was nervous and worried because he did not know how to ride a horse. If I fall off, everybody will laugh at me, he thought. I will get up very early tomorrow and practice riding the horse. At dawn, the potter woke up. He thought, if he falls off from the horse, everyone will laugh at him, and so he must practice riding in the early morning. Dawn, the potter woke up his wife and they went to the stable. They saw a beautiful brown horse ready for its new master. Oh, how tall he is, sighed the potter. I shall never be able to climb onto his back. He asked his wife, put this bench beside him, said his wife, and use it as a step. Even with the help of the bench, the potter had much difficulty climbing on the horse's back. When he was finally seated, he found that the saddle was very slippery. Please tie my feet to the stirrups, dear wife, said the potter, otherwise I shall certainly fall off. His wife found some rope and bound her husband's feet tightly to the stirrups. So she then passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. She also passed a length of rope around the potter's waist and tied him to the saddle. Now, please tie my hands to his neck, said the potter. Well, the big brown horse was impatiently pawing his hoofs. on the ground. When the potter's wife tried to pass another rope around its neck, the horse suddenly jumped free. It galloped out of the stable. On the order of the king, they went to the stable at the dawn for practicing. They woke up in the early morning and went to the stable. His wife tied him to the horse with the rope, um, not to fall from the horse. Galloped out of the stable with the potter hanging like a sack of rice on its back. Only the ropes kept him from crashing to the ground. The potter held tightly to the horse's neck and prayed to all the gods to save his life. The potter was on the horse with the ropes. Only the ropes kept him from crashing to the ground. The potter was praying to all the gods to save his life. After galloping through the quiet streets, the horse crashed. After galloping through the quiet streets, the horse crashed through the city gate and raced across the open fields. It leapt over fences and streams and began to head for the enemy's camp. When the potter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse. He pulled wildly on the reins, but it was no use. The horse galloped on. Splendid means magnificent. Stable means the house of the horse. Groaned means make a deep sound of despair. Stirrups means each of a pair of devices attached to each side of the horse's saddle in the form of a loop with a flat base to support the rider's foot. Saddle means a seat. Pawing means feeling with a hoof hard part on the bottom of the feet of a horse. Leapt means jumped. Grabbed means grasp or seize suddenly or roughly. Galloping means to ride a horse at a gallop at full speed. Okay. The horse galloped through quiet streets, open fields, fences and streams, and headed for the enemy's camp. When Potter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse, but it didn't stop. The horse galloped on. When they passed a young tree, the potter grabbed a branch, but the horse did not stop. Instead, the tree was pulled out of the ground. A sentry from the enemy camp saw the potter galloping towards the camp with a tree in one hand and his reins in the other. That must be the general who captured a tiger with his bare hand, he thought. Now he has uprooted a tree with only one hand. When they passed a young tree, he grabbed a branch, but horse did not stop. Instead, the tree was pulled out of a ground. A sentry from the enemy camp saw that and frightened for him. He is not an ordinary man. He is a giant. Run, run, save yourselves. The famous tiger general is coming at the head of a large army to attack us. He has the strength of a giant. He has uprooted a tree with one hand. They all feared for the potter. Frightened soldiers fled. Their king was left by himself in his tent. Hurriedly, he wrote a letter begging for peace and apologizing for attacking the country. He left this letter in the tent. Then he jumped on his horse and followed his soldiers. Enemy soldiers saw the potter coming with the tree in one hand and with the reins in another hand. They frightened and all the soldiers fled. The king also wrote a letter begging for peace and apologizing for attacking the country. He left the letter in the tent and jumped on his horse and followed his soldiers. The potter's brown horse reached the deserted camp. It stopped. With shaking hands, the potter untied his feet and fell to the ground. When he looked around, he was surprised to find the camp empty. He looked in the king's tent and found the letter. Reached the deserted camp and stopped. With shaking hands, the potter untied his feet and fell to the ground and took the letter. Till Potter walked back to the city with a letter in this pocket. He went to his wife and gave her the letter. Dear wife, he said, never in my life will ride a horse again. Please take this letter to our king and tell him that the enemy has run away. I am going to bed. His wife ran towards the palace with the letter. He was puzzled and left the place with the letter. When the king read the letter, he was full of praise for his new general. He asked the potter's wife where her husband was. My husband is tired, your majesty. The servants have put him to bed, answered the wife respectfully. The potter took the letter and came to the palace, to their house with the letter. He gave the letter to his wife and he asked his wife to go to the palace to give the letter to the king. When the king read the letter, he was full of praise for the new general. He asked the potter's wife where her husband was. She said he was taking rest. Rest today. Tell him to come tomorrow to receive the reward, the king said. Next morning, the potter went to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and walked to the palace with his wife. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. They all heard about the brave potter, praised the potter, and wanted Potter to come and receive the reward. Next morning, the potter went to the palace, left the horse in the stable. The streets were filled with cheering crowds because of his brave action. Next morning, the potter went to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and walked to the palace with his wife. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. They had all heard about his brave action. Next morning, the potter went to the palace, left the horse in the stable. The streets were filled with cheering crowds because of his brave action. How humble he is, they said to each other. Any other man would ride to the palace on a horse, but he is walking like an ordinary man. He is truly a humble and brave man. They all praised him. The villagers all praised him as humble and brave man. The king rewarded the potter so well that he did not need to work again. The country was peaceful for the rest of his life, and the potter never rode a horse again. He was rewarded as he did not need to work again. That is Brave Potter's story. I think you enjoyed so much. Today it is enough. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.